Prince Harry and Meghan are reportedly planning a trip to Australia, but instead of it being the peaceful visit they imagined, it has turned into total chaos. Many Australians have made it clear that they are not excited about their arrival.
But I will tell you that lots of Australian viewers of the Mark Dolan show don't want to see Harry and Meghan. The reason why it went down well in 2018, Paul, is because the Australian public didn't know Meghan Markle very well. Well, they know her now. And what do they know her to be? A gold-digging grifter.
Petitions with thousands of signatures are now demanding that no taxpayer money be spent on their visit. What was supposed to be a dream journey is quickly turning into something else entirely. From the way things are unfolding, they may even need to halt the trip. But first, let's understand why Harry and Meghan are even going to Australia. Well, the answer is clear. All their ventures and deals are collapsing. Netflix has also parted ways with Meghan. Her podcast ended abruptly, and even her lifestyle brand, As Ever, is not performing well.
Netflix has officially cut ties with Meghan Markle's polarizing lifestyle brand As Ever. But there's no other way to spin it, is there? She and Harry have been a massive disappointment for Netflix.
Because of this, they needed to act quickly to keep their fame and image from fading, and that is where the Australian trip comes in. Harry and Meghan claim that the trip is for private business and philanthropic engagements. However, many believe that this is just a cover and that the real goal is to regain relevance.
Because Netflix was holding her back and she wants to push forward. Well, what better way to do that than to go to these countries and sort of test run how the business could go if they expand into Australia. I think nothing has been confirmed, but certainly it feels like that's the mood music. So there is that aspect of it where they want to come here and I guess just sort of launch this new phase of their career. But at the same time, it will, of course, invite comparisons to that trip.
The spotlight of this Australian trip would be on Meghan and not even Harry, because Meghan is reportedly planning an all-ladies hangout. At this event, women are expected to pay £1,400 for a ticket to gain access to the venue, where they would have the opportunity to speak with Meghan one-on-one and also receive advice from her.
Harry and Meghan are heading to Australia. Meghan's going to be a guest at a women's-only weekend event, and it's going to cost £1,700 for the 3-day weekend. Tell me what we could have got, Lizzie.
You can get a gala dinner, 2 nights accommodation, a question and answer session with Meghan, meditation, yoga, and a sound healing experience.
This raises an obvious question. What exactly does she have to offer? All of this appears to be part of a strategy to re-enter Australia and regain relevance. However, it seems to have failed already, as the growing number of signed petitions by Australians is not even giving them enough room to properly plan the trip. Back in 2018, shortly after their marriage, their trip to Australia was a massive success. Crowds flooded the streets in Sydney and Melbourne just to see the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. At that time, they were seen as the modern future of the monarchy.
Thoughts and prayers. The couple's popularity in Australia in 2018 was the catalyst for Harry and Meghan making demands as working members of the royal family. I don't know if you know that. In trying to step out of William and Catherine's shadow, Meghan started comparing herself to Princess Diana and tried to use this trip as leverage with the late Queen.
But fast forward to now, and the energy surrounding them has completely changed. After stepping down from royal duties and moving to the United States, they focused on building a celebrity brand. They also engaged in controversial interviews, including the one with Oprah, released documentaries, and Harry wrote a memoir that exposed royal drama.
Prince Harry's controversial memoir is proving to be a true tell-all.
They're going to want him to deliver something that sells books and makes headlines. But I think the view from within Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace is to ride this one out, to hope that this Sussex haul kind of blows itself out once they've said their piece.
All of this significantly damaged the goodwill that once surrounded them. Since much of that goodwill has been lost, the one thing they still hold on to is their royal titles. These titles have become their main tool for staying relevant. With those titles, this trip is now being viewed by critics as a branding exercise, a commercial opportunity, and even what some are calling a fake royal tour. The people of Australia are not welcoming this development. Many believe that the government may end up entertaining them, and in doing so, use taxpayer money. This is exactly what citizens are pushing back against.
Hasn't Australia suffered enough? What have you done to deserve this?
I know.
I mean, the couple's, I know, I'm thinking thoughts and prayers. The couple's popularity in Australia in 2018 was the catalyst for Harry and Meghan making demands as working members of the royal family. I don't know if you know that.
They are sending a clear message. If the trip is truly private, then Harry and Meghan should pay for everything themselves. No government involvement, no publicly funded security, and no royal privileges. Australians are rushing to sign the petition because, in their view, if you claim to have stepped away from royalty, you should not continue to enjoy the benefits that come with it. This situation has also taken a political turn. Republicans in Australia are questioning the relevance of the monarchy and asking why Harry and Meghan are even coming to the country and what they hope to achieve. At the same time, monarchists feel that Harry and Meghan betrayed the crown and should no longer be associated with it. From their perspective, whatever decisions the couple makes no longer concern the royal family. Some even believe that Harry and Meghan are trying to use a backdoor approach to return to royal relevance. However, this is unlikely to work, as Queen Elizabeth II made it clear that there would be no half-in, half-out arrangement. This attempt is now creating further tension around the monarchy.
That relationship, and I don't think Australia has any desire to see them in April.
No, it's actually interesting because a lot of Australians are monarchists, and you know, I've been to Australia many times. I know a lot of people in Australia, and the thing that I'm hearing is that they're so fed up because Australians really don't like it when somebody thinks that they're above the regular people.
Mm-hmm. Timing also plays a major role in this situation. King Charles III is currently dealing with health challenges and the pressures of leadership. Prince William and Catherine may not be visiting Australia anytime soon. This has led some to believe that the Sussexes are trying to take advantage of this moment to dominate headlines in key Commonwealth countries before senior working royals step in. However, based on the growing backlash and petitions, it appears this strategy may fail.
And what does Meghan Markle do? Surprise! I'm releasing a new product, and as ever, I mean, they are so predictable in this sense.
It's either bad news or Catherine is doing something, so I've got to get the spotlight back.
Yeah.
Despite all of this, Harry reportedly still hopes that the trip will impress the king and help put him back on the royal map. But many critics see this as unrealistic and unlikely to happen. Harry and Meghan have also claimed that the trip is private and does not involve any official institutions. However, questions remain about security arrangements. If they are moving with the police and local authorities, then who is actually covering the cost?
I've seen what I thought was interesting was the announcement included private events. Like wouldn't we just assume that they would want privacy throughout the excursion? But don't forget or don't think for 1 second they won't try to make it look like an official royal engagement. They will want certain photo opportunities where there's an audience clamoring for them so that they can send those pictures to People magazine. But for the most part, I do think that it will be mostly private events and commercial ventures that they're pursuing more so than charity opportunities.
This creates a gray area, and this is exactly where the petition becomes relevant. Australians are concerned that hidden or unforeseen expenses could eventually fall on the government if things are not handled carefully. Even though the trip is described as private, it is expected to be heavily covered by the media. There are also suggestions that they may try to recreate the success of their 2018 visit when large crowds gathered to welcome them. If that happens, then this so-called private trip would quickly turn into a global spectacle, which is exactly what critics believe they want in order to revive their fading image.
As of late 2025, Harry and Meghan's popularity in Australia is at an all-time low. Following a consistent downward trend over the years, polling indicates they're among the least popular members of the royal family.
The royal family has not publicly reacted to these developments, but insiders suggest they are closely monitoring the situation while allowing Harry and Meghan to face the backlash on their own. This appears to be a deliberate strategy, allowing them to experience the consequences of their decisions without royal support. At this point, the Australian visit is shaping up to be a major test. It will likely determine whether Harry and Meghan still have public support and whether people are willing to accept them operating with royal-style privileges.
She is the daughter-in-law of King Charles, of our sovereign. She is married to King Charles's son, Prince Harry. And this tawdry event heaps embarrassment, yet more embarrassment, on our royal family, doesn't it?
It's a really good point, Kev. And, you know, we all know the Queen's dying wish was to not have them do this pseudo-royal sycophant.
The possible outcomes are clear. On one hand, they could regain some positive attention and rebuild their image. On the other hand, they could face public rejection, boos, media humiliation, and long-term damage to their already struggling brand. Ultimately, this situation reflects more than just reactions to Harry and Meghan. It highlights a broader shift in public attitudes toward the monarchy, with increasing demands for accountability and less automatic respect for royal figures. What was once their strongest stage has now become their biggest test. The petition has already shaped the narrative, and as it stands, they are walking straight into a storm with little support. There you have it, the major embarrassment surrounding their planned visit to Australia. The petitions are gaining traction, and everything is already in motion. Let us know in the comments section if you think their visit to Australia is still a wise decision despite all the backlash. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.